Mic check 1 2 12. Spitting live and direct from the atrium. This is your man, Mr. ID, representing the pinnacle downtown sector, Jersey City. All day, every day. You already know how we do. I am here, not queer. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Actually, doing my 15th different attempt at this video thing. On the OBS, I finally just went to tools and hit the fucking wizard. And it preset things for me. So far so good. I see that my lips is moving along nicely with the sound that's coming out of my mouth. I don't know. I know this is the better of the two cameras, the crispier of the two cameras. But I also know that it's a 4K camera, and I don't know if it's too strong. If the reason that I was lagging is because that camera is just, trying its best to chug along, I really don't know. So I am just taking everything slow. Taking it as slow as I can go. I do not want to clip. I think I have this microphone way too effing loud. I just wanna share my thoughts with you people. I made many videos over the last few days that were all over the place. And unfortunately, most of them were frozen. I mean, not even just lagging. It was straight up frozen. And I'm tweaking things as I go along because I want to get it right. Because I'm tired. I'm tired of having equipment and I'm not being able to use it. It is highly upsetting and very disconcerting. I just saw the video that the Quartering made addressing his being accosted at the Gen Con. Lucky that my video was freezing and wasn't made public, because I guess there was a lot of gung-ho heroes who have either tweeted or have said what they would have done if it was them. And I made similar remarks in my video. I basically said, I've been to jail before. Never prison, but I could do 30 days easily for punching you in your fucking face. I wouldn't be just getting hit and staying hit. To each his own. God bless America. If you're a law-abiding citizen and that's how you live, we don't all live like that. That doesn't mean that I don't enjoy your videos. But like I said in my previous videos, I am a male who happens to be Puerto Rican. That doesn't mean that I lean left just because I have to by default. I take every cause that comes across my plane of existence on a case-by-case basis. There are certain things that I am very conservative on. And there are some things that I lean left for, or maybe more centrist. I really don't know. I don't have a label. I don't know. Libertarian, left of center, center mass. Who the fuck knows? I have no idea. I think it's better explained the way I just said, on a case-by-case basis. But I do enjoy a video, where SJWs are being called out, because no longer is the counterculture that of those who have been downtrodden. The fight, I wouldn't say is basically over, but the SJWs have gotten what they wanted. And in the court of public opinion, at least, they run shit. You know, everything leans in their direction. If you go to Berkeley and you're conservative and you have something to share, you will not be allowed a platform to share said thoughts. I don't agree. That's very dangerous. You should be allowed to say whatever you want as long as you're not inciting a riot. Because I say things that you don't like doesn't mean that I'm assaulting you. Doesn't make anyone a Nazi unless they were burning Jews in ovens. Or, I don't know, in the late 80s, shaving their heads and tattooing swastikas on their faces. Like really Aryaned out all deep fucking Nazism. You're throwing around words that don't mean what they mean. Just because you don't like what someone says doesn't make them a Nazi. That's dangerous. That's a dangerous form of living. Here comes my son. I'm on OBS and it's moving nicely. Is somebody behind you? Oh, all right. My son, Mr. Kane, has just walked in the door. He's 15 years old, and he'll be the first to tell you, I wouldn't stay hit by any motherfucker jumping me from behind. And I'm not, I'm raising him the way I was raised, not to be scared. Because you know what? I've been jumped before. I've been accosted by 22 motherfuckers at the same time. Getting hit with garbage cans and ShopRite carts while being pummeled in my fucking face. I've been hit with metal bats while dudes are throwing Snapple bottles at my head. If it weren't for good passerbys, letting me jump in their car, I probably would have been dead. I was saved one day from getting stabbed by the guy who's jumping me's sister. Not because she was looking out for my best interest, but because she didn't want her brother to go to jail again. Life is crazy and weird. You roll with the punches as they're delivered. And I'll be damned if I'm going to let a motherfucker pummel me in the back of my head. Some guy, what was his name? I don't know. I should really do research before I start spewing on this fucking microphone. But the guy's name is Jeremy. He runs the Quartering website. He also does Magic the Gathering. He has a second account, which I would imagine is his first account, because I believe Magic is his first love. And he was at Gen Con. He was assaulted at a bar around 1 o'clock in the morning by some douchebag, fucking bro who identifies as pansexual. And, some guy who wears dresses but only fucks straight bitches. Some cornball cat who's jumping on the SJW bandwagon to earn points, most likely. And he openly, assaulted this man. And he's pretty much proud of it. After going dark on his Twitter for a little while, he's back on Facebook, pretty much proud of what he did. #punch Nazis, which again, that's a very strong word that you're throwing around loosely. Very loosely. It means what it means. A Nazi is a fucking Nazi. Not a middle-aged white guy who says things that you don't agree with. But yeah, I trailed off my diatribe. Basically, if the counterculture, the definition of counterculture is that which is not popular, then the counterculture now is the conservative viewpoint. Which is why geeks and gamers, world-class bullshitters, no bullshit, websites like this, the YouTube channels like this, the Quartering, why they get views, why their channels are growing exponentially. Because it's not because there's butthurt man babies and because the white man is not represented. It's nothing to do with that. It has to do with the fact that the same reason that Trump got elected was because there is a voice in this country that feels that it's not being heard. It goes beyond, a megalomaniac's points. I'm not here to talk about Trump. I'm not here to talk about whether I like him or not. Hillary should have did more than tell people why they shouldn't vote for him. They should have gave people reasons why they should vote for her. Or better yet, the DNC shouldn't have stood in the way of Bernie becoming the elected representation of the Democratic Party. Therefore, maybe the race would have actually been close. But you had a megalomaniac who shoots from the hip going against a liar. And Democrats themselves didn't trust her. So, she lost. The world is not falling. The sky is not falling. You're not going to get him impeached. It's almost, what has he been in? 2 years already? I don't know. He's been in almost 2 years or how long he's been in there. Still, Facebook pages and petitions and he's not going to get impeached. Stop. You should be wasting this energy on telling us who's going to be running against them in 2 more years. You should have been using this time as opposed to, being a man baby or a grown-ass child and pouting and crying on election night. You should have been getting your ducks in order. You should be getting that new person who you grooming, who you should already be shoving down the nation's throat. You should be, easing him into the fray. That way, it's not a surprise when some, Joe Schmo from Idaho with a suit ends up being the guy who's going to run against Trump in 2 more years. It won't be a surprise. You would have already had him set up, him or her, set up. But if you think you're going to bring Hillary back, that's stupid. That's stupid and a waste of time. And it's not about female. It's about the right female. It's a lot of things. And people are way too emotional. Emotions on their sleeves. Easy to say people are butthurt, over, Star Wars The Last Jedi, but you're butthurt if a guy doesn't like Malala Khan or doesn't buy the fucking, Miss Marvel comic book because supposedly, they're just butthurt white guys or man babies. They don't go watch the 2016 Ghostbusters, a man baby man. Who's the man baby? I think it's the guy who ran up behind Jeremy and punched him in the back of the fucking head. It's the man baby to me. And I'm the type of motherfucker that would want to be locked in a small closet with that motherfucker for 2 minutes. Leave me in a dark alley alone with homeboy, But that's good. The law's the law. It was in Indianapolis, I believe, where it happened. The guy might get away. I'm sure you have his address by now. They have his name, Matt Lucas, or I don't know. There's so many names swimming around in my fucking head. He's some asshole with tattoos on his arm or tattoos up in the. He wears dresses. He supposedly, does Kickstarter or some type of campaign to, garner money from people, to get money to start comic books or video games or certain things, yet he produces nothing. He's nothing. The people who have contributed to these, what do you call that? Not PayPal. You know what I'm talking about. Those fucking fundraiser things where people put up money and they're promised things. Supposedly his thing is promoting shit that he never fucking fulfills on. That's his biggest claim to fame. Other than being on panels at Comic-Cons and Gen Cons and what have you, and being really into some type of gaming and being a vendor. He was a vendor at Gen Con, which they have their own rules. There's like a code of conduct. And I'm sure he broke many of them, if not all of them, by assaulting this man and then bragging about it on the fucking internet. Then anyone who asked questions about it was swiftly shut down off the message boards, blocked. That's not it. That's not it. I really hate that. I hate that no platform shit. Well, don't give them a platform to speak on. Then they can. You're not gonna shut people down on the internet. When people have so many other ways to get their voices heard, that's absurd. That's ridiculous. And the fact that you'd rather shut someone down before you actually let them speak just shows your fear. Are you scared that they're going to say something that might actually hit home? What's the problem? If what they're saying is so evil and wicked, why not let them speak and put their own foot in their mouth? Let them look stupid in front of the masses. Back to the Berkeley point, if Milo Yiannopoulos is going to Berkeley to speak, the only 200 people that paid to see him are going to be there. So no one is going to be hearing. It's not like they're going to have speakers in the streets hooked up to the PA system in the auditorium, and his word is going to get out all over the streets. It's just going to be to the people who paid to see him. And if they paid to see him, who gives a fuck? You're not stopping him from speaking. By you acting a fool, going Antifa'd out, all you're doing is bringing more eyes to his thing. All you're doing is making more people look and say, what's going on over here? You look like a fool. You look crazy. Starting fires, flipping cars, punching people in their faces because they got red hats on. Makes you look like the crazy people. Then, regular citizens who might not be leaning one way or the other might want to give a listen to what the guy was talking about. If you would have never did nothing, they never would have even been alerted to his presence. But that's neither here nor there. I'm trailing off like a motherfucker. I'm all over the place. I'm just happy that my OBS is finally working. It's been a while. I really, really, really have been dying to crack this microphone, and this topic gives me something to talk about. That's basically it. So the guy, Jeremy, I believe his name is, the man who was assaulted by this jerk off at Gen Con, has filed out a police report. He filled out a police report. He said the first cop didn't really help him very much. He wasn't very helpful. But a second police officer, Officer Weber, did make his way over to his hotel room where he took all his information, and, now he's been in touch with many people. And Ethan Van Sciver, which is another YouTuber, comic pro art, something. I'm sorry. I don't really know the name off the top of my head. He does another YouTube channel where he speaks the same topic, SJW, laughing at the absurdity that is the SJWs. Sometimes they make themselves look stupid. And these people love to point them out, it is what it is. Sargon of Akkad and a lot of different channels, this is what they do. They point out the absurdity that are certain people. In their cases, I guess since they lean conservative, they point out when SJWs look like fucking assholes. When they do stupid shit or end up, making moves that puts them in a lesser than good light. Lesser than positive light. You know what I mean? That's it. That's what they do. That's all they're doing. They're using their YouTube channel to spread the rhetoric in which they and their listeners like to hear. And, I occasionally hit their pages. They occasionally see a video. Oh, shit, that looks interesting. And I give it a fucking click, But I also watch John Oliver, and I watch a lot of Red Letter Media, really. Movie reviews. I don't like movies, but I like to watch people review them. I'm a fucking weirdo. That's what I am. That's what I am. I'm not a tough guy. I'm not a killer. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. But like I've said, I have a history. I've really doing drugs, and that has occasionally led me to bumps with the law. But I'm not a stranger to violence, unfortunately. My addiction in my past did cause me to have a few scuffles with a few police officers. Shit happens. You know what I mean? Woke up handcuffed to a bed, and everything was cool after that. Then the two of the 6 cops that it took to took them 22 minutes to fucking finally get handcuffs on me. Were like, wow, where was this guy, 22 minutes ago? Because I woke up and I'm like, look, I don't know what the fuck I've been telling you up to this point, but I just want you to know that I comply. Fucking guy started laughing. Because I was drunk and off my fucking rocker. It's not an excuse, but it is the truth. It is what happened. And I've paid my debt to society, was arrested, did the court thing. That's what lawyers are for. That's a whole other story that maybe I'll get into one day. But we're not talking about my ex-legal cases. We're talking about this existing one. And unfortunately, the quartering was assaulted. He feels the need to... Ethan Van Sciver. They started a GoFundMe for like his lawyer fees and stuff. I guess they're going to do like they want him to do a civil lawsuit. Or the people behind him. I'm basically going the law route. Make this guy pay to the fullest extent of the law. Maybe hurt his businesses, make him really feel it in his pockets. But when the guy went over the assault and the witnesses to that assault, he said it was saying things like he was trying to get away and he ran inside. Just little things where, it's unfortunate, It's unfortunate that he didn't want to get his bearings and see this man head on. The douchebag in this scenario is the asshole that hit Jeremy from behind. Let's get this right. He's a bitch-made motherfucker. That is the truth. You got a problem with somebody, violence isn't the answer. It's not. In certain cases, there is no other choice. But when you disagree with someone, I believe you can start with speaking. I'm fucking stuttering over my fucking words because I have so many thoughts on this that I can't wrap my head around. Really, I really can't. I can't understand. So many people that are bitch made. You walk up to a man face to face, eye to eye. Are you so and so? Yo, I'm not feeling you. This is why. 1, 2, 3, and 12. You lay it out in front of them. Maybe they'll tell you why they feel that way. You could agree to disagree. Or you could agree to say, you know what? I'm not feeling what you're saying. Knuckle up. And then I guess you have the choice to either tuck your... two ways that humans respond: fight or flight. Humans are really basic, especially when threats are put before them. You see motherfuckers' true colors real quick. And I was bullied a lot as a kid and I got tired of running. That's my fucking story. I'm not a tough guy. I just know what it is to get punched in my face, my nose broken, beaten with bats. I went down this fucking list. What's the worst that's going to happen? Blood in your eye, a few fucking lumps and bruises. The worst lumps and bruises are letting the bully sun you. Is letting someone take your manhood without putting a finger on you. Those are worse bruises to get over. There's no pill for that. There's no medicine for that shit. Having to live with being a coward. A coward dies 1,000 deaths. Hero only dies once. And there's nothing heroic about a fist fight. You're not going to die. The likelihood of, you getting hit and falling on the corner of a table or hitting your temple and dying in a fist fight is highly fucking unlikely. And if you do, then guess what? That motherfucker's going to go to jail. So you win anyway. But a lot of people got a lot of things to live for. I do too. I have a 15-year-old son, a beautiful lady, a nice car, a nice apartment. The building, the apartment I live in, the building my family owns. Not too shabby. I'm a union stagehand. I get to work at fucking concerts. And I get to see them if Jay-Z and Beyonce just passed. I mean, I have a great life. I have friends with record deals. If I'm not working, I'm lucky enough to work in a field that I actually hoped to get into when I was younger, which is music and entertainment. I've taken to my lady to many a Broadway show because I worked at the sound shop that rented the equipment to said Broadway shows. Not like I'm some derelict fucking fool, petty begging, thieving vagrant who has nothing to lose. What I'm saying is that, me personally, I'm not with letting other people handle my fucking battles. If I can handle something on my own, I will. And I think a one-on-one is not that hard to fucking handle. It's really easy. I feel bad for my man. No one should have to be hurt over YouTube, over talking shit into a microphone. It's a goddamn shame. And I hope that you get everything you want. I could see the way that you're going. I hope that you're able to, sue him in court, win a large amount of money, and then get him garnished. Like his taxes that he thinks he's going to get money back at the end of the year, for the next 20 years, he'll never get a cent because those checks will go directly to you. I hope that's exactly what you get. Let him feel for a very long time, at least the next 10, 15, 20 years, whatever, how many years it would take to pay off the mental anguish and suffering that he put you through. I'm sorry if I sound sarcastic when I say that. But you didn't look too physically hurt. I would imagine more it was the fear factor of being surprised from behind and having a motherfucker sneak you. I would want payback too. And you didn't get initial payback, immediate payback with the ass whipping that he deserved. So, a monetary ass whipping is just as good. I wish you nothing but luck. Shout out to YouTube. Everybody that does this, apparently you're putting your life in your hands if you have a fucking opinion. So, God bless you all. God bless you all. And that's it. I can't believe it's been almost 28 minutes I've been talking shit. That's it. I really hope that this worked. Like I said, I've been having problems in the last few days setting up the whole software part of the hookup. What it takes to make a podcast. I mean, I have the microphone and I have the basics. I have my goddamn preamp and a cloud lifter. I even got this little boom arm, for the fanciness, like if I'm the goddamn radio station. I got some monitors, and I got a whole bunch of cameras. I even got stands. I haven't set this up at all. I have a vision. And right now it's still crazy. But, yeah, that's it. That's somehow I got into a diatribe about a guy I don't even know. And that I hardly watch his videos. But I think it's fucked up that he paid money to go to a Comic-Con of sorts. It's Gen Con. It's a con for board games. And he probably paid hundreds of dollars to get his tickets to go in and his flight there, and his hotel room, and then is ruined by some jerk off who didn't like something he said. Wow, bro. That's extremely disconcerting. That's all I'll say about that, since I've said enough up till now. Love you, miss you. Thank you for anyone who might have tuned in. I've been inspired by the likes of Star, Opie and Anthony, anyone who speaks their mind on a microphone. Really. Wendy Williams I enjoyed once upon a time. Of course, the great Howard Stern. I'd be a fool not to give the king of all media his goddamn accolades, but anyone that I enjoy, Jim and Sam. I love me some Jim Norton. I really do. But the mighty star of the Star Report on YouTube, of the Star and Buck Wild show, Once Upon a Time, he's the initial person who really, I feel, put that fire in me to crack this microphone. I've had the good fortune of meeting the man and being in his presence. I even went to his show when he was on Shovio, when he did this thing with the radio chick and Star and Buck Wild with White Trash Helene. I cracked the mic with him for what I was told was going to be 3 minutes, turned into a half hour. I was told me to chill and stay, and because I got an email from the the PD at the time, or one of the people behind the scenes who is now his manager, Special K, and she emailed me, you're going to get 3 minutes on the microphone, you'll get to play your video. Because when I met him with my lady, and I met Star in a bowling alley. He said, yo, I like your energy. I had bought him drinks. You got to show respect. Spent $50 on a round for everybody. It's all good. You only meet a big guy once. I know people probably expect him because he got money. He was getting the big bucks on Hot 97 on 105.1. But that's not what it is. I get to meet a motherfucker that I admire. I'm nobody's fan. Because I'm not a fanatic, but I admire his candor. I've always admired his gangster. Gully motherfucker from New Jersey who was on a hip hop station talking about I don't like rap, playing Ozzy and shit and Rush. Gotta respect that motherfucker. And he told me, I like your energy and stuff. You ever got something to promote? Hit me up and stuff. And I did just that. My friend Constant Flow, who was signed to Viper Records, had a video at the time, his newest video at that time. I told him I had it to promote. I had called the show a few times and kicked freestyle over it, so he let me go. I brought the video, he played it, he joked and bugged out over the video. It was good fucking times was had by all. And I got to crack the mic 3 times, like I said. He told me, hey, you're going to stick around? And I did. And he let me freestyle 3 times, which was written rhymes, but he let me rhyme 3 times. I got to joke around with them, back and forth, key it up, It was good times, And when I left, that Leslie Gold, who I don't know, she was just there, and she had told me, look, I don't know what you do in life, but you should maybe go to college for communications. That was a pretty good hour of radio. Which it was internet radio. But, she kind of told me what I wanted to hear, which was, you weren't too shabby there, buddy. If the mission of a radio station is not to leave dead air, god damn it, you don't leave any dead air on the goddamn floor. You are not fucking around this year, And like I said, Star, I would definitely say that he's the first person that let me believe that I could do this really, and so I do, and so I have. You could check the page for the Son and I Video Podcast, which I did for a little more than a year. We stopped probably half a year ago or more. But it was definitely a year. A strong year. Me and my son, we did an episode a week, about an hour. We got all types of movie reviews and just topics, the week's topics and shit, shooting the shit. I basically do it with little man to get the young kids' take, because you're only 13, 14, and 15 once in your life. So, you don't want a fucking middle-aged Puerto Rican guy's take on everything. You don't want a middle-aged man in his late 30s going into his 40s. My viewpoint will be stale and boring consistently. That he adds, and in those videos, he adds another angle to any story that we're tackling. Or in his case, mostly ignorance in most of the topics that we're tackling. But it's cool because I get to chill with my son. That's really what it's about. More, those videos are more for me. You know, I don't care if I get 12 views or 130. You know, I think the pilot episode has over 300 views. That's great. That's awesome. But I don't do it for the views. You know, I do it because I love doing this. And in that case, when it comes to the Son and I video podcast, I do it more for, you know, more for me. You know, to kind of have on record for posterity. You know, my son on video talking shit. I mean, I have video of me and him together talking into microphones and doing webcam shit when he was like 4 years old. You know, I did the same shit, so why not when he's 14? You know, it only made sense at the time. But we will be bringing you things on this channel. Many of things. I love Steven Universe. I love Doctor Who. I got into Star Wars late, but, you know, I am a lover of Star Wars and Star Trek. You know, I love anything and everything that interests me. And I'm sure as I get through, as time goes on and more videos are dropped, you guys will know exactly what that is. You know, the non-sports guy, I don't like watching sports, but I watch ESPN all the time. So my ignorant take on sports will be shared with you. Believe that. The non-sports guy, I'm thinking of calling it. I don't know. But I got things. I got stuff. I got ideas. That's what YouTube is for. That's what the channel's for. That's what I'm going to do. And that's it. I've shared. I've done enough talking shit. I gave enough praise to those I enjoy listening to. And hopefully some of you will enjoy listening to me. And that is the purpose. That is the point of all of this. All right. So I am punching out. It's been grand. I will see you guys later. Peace.